What's the most painful betrayal you've ever experienced? My husband has always been pretty emotionally distant. Not necessarily cold, just hard to read. His mom was basically the center of his universe, and when she got really sick and needed a kidney, my husband practically begged me to help. I wasn't exactly thrilled. Doctors gave us plenty of warnings about how tough recovery could be. Severe pain, months of no intimacy, depression, the works. But my husband was insistent. He looked at me, teary-eyed, promising he'd be by my side through every second of it, swearing his love would only get stronger. I believed him. The surgery itself went okay, but my recovery was hell. Every morning I woke up feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. I was constantly tired, struggling to even stand long enough to shower, let alone help around the house. My husband tried helping at first, but quickly got frustrated with how slow everything was taking. I noticed him sighing when I asked him for things. He'd complain loudly about the house being messy or dinner not being ready. Sometimes he snapped at me for not trying harder to get better faster. Slowly, guilt crept in, and I started feeling like a burden. When I gently tried talking to him about it, he always turned it around on me. He'd roll his eyes and say I was imagining things, telling me, "Of course I still love you. You're just paranoid." I wanted to believe him so badly that I ignored the growing pit in my stomach. I clung desperately to those empty reassurances, hoping everything would magically fix itself. Just when I finally started feeling a tiny bit better, Jake sat me down at the kitchen table, his eyes distant and cold. My stomach nodded instantly. "I can't do this anymore," he said, avoiding my eyes. "I want a divorce." I stared at him, heart pounding. I reminded him about his promises and my sacrifice. He laughed bitterly and shook his head. "Giving my mom a kidney doesn't make you entitled to my love. You turned into someone else, someone I never signed up for." His words felt like physical blows. Tears streamed down my face as I begged him to reconsider, but he just stood up, told me I was smothering him, and walked out. Just like that, he was gone. The next few months were brutal. Jake painted me as unstable and needy to our friends, who quickly started distancing themselves. Alone, with no money, and broken, I tried piecing my life back together. It felt impossible most days. Meanwhile, Jake quickly found someone new, plastering their relationship all over social media. He seemed happier than ever, completely unfazed by my pain. Then came the night that destroyed me completely. I was scrolling aimlessly through Facebook when photos from his mom's recovery celebration filled my screen. My husband threw this huge party to celebrate her full recovery, and right there, in front of everyone, was he smiling broadly, his arm wrapped lovingly around his new girlfriend. Friends were cheering them on in the comments. My stomach twisted painfully. Years passed by, and though the wounds scabbed over, they never fully healed. I learned to live quietly, finding peace in my solitude, until one random evening when my ex-husband's mom called me out of the blue. She began apologizing repeatedly, leaving me confused. "I know everything now," she said. "Lauren, my ex-husband's now wife, got drunk last night and broke down at dinner. She confessed to everything." That's when his mom explained. Turns out my ex-husband had lied to everyone after we separated. He told his family that I'd cheated on him, justifying why he left me. Then, taking advantage of the hospital's strict anonymity protocols, something I'd requested myself to avoid awkward gratitude, he convinced his mom that his girlfriend was her real donor. His mom had no reason to doubt him. It was the perfect lie, securing his girlfriend's place in the family and erasing me entirely. Hearing this, I felt numb. All the pain came rushing back, overwhelming and raw. His mom sobbed, begging forgiveness, genuinely broken by the realization of how cruel her son had been. I softly reassured her I held no bitterness towards her, but when she invited me to reconnect, I politely declined. I couldn't go back to that life, that pain. After hanging up, I sat alone in the quiet, letting tears fall freely for the first time in years. It felt strangely freeing, knowing the truth was finally out, even if it didn't fix the years of hurt and betrayal I'd lived through.